Hello, friends. Welcome to Coding Garden with CJ. Welcome to an uncharacteristic Wednesday stream. Glad you could all be here. Yeah, welcome everyone. Welcome. Today we're going to first we're going to write some code. We're going to build something that we'll build in under an hour, and then we're going to co-work. It's me. Yeah. What's up, Klein and Ed and everybody else? Bienvenidos. Well, hello friends and welcome to Coding Garden with CJ. Oh, hello friends and welcome to Coding Garden with CJ. We're gonna grow our coding skills one day at a time. We're not afraid to make mistakes or follow out of line. We're gonna break things down, build them back up. We're gonna learn lots of things. It's gonna be really fun. Oh, hello friends and welcome to Coding Garden with CJ. Oh, hello friends and welcome to Coding Garden with CJ. Welcome to the show. That's always fun. I think I slowed the tempo down a little bit today. You know, a little bit. Well, thank you everyone. Yeah, somebody mentioned vaccine. I have my my vaccine. I'm scheduled to get my first dose of the Pfizer vaccine tomorrow, so that's pretty fun. Oh, well, thank you, Yash. I appreciate that. All right. Let's get into this. Hello. Welcome. If you're new here, if you just somehow just found me today, join me in doing this. In the chat, type !drop me. And your avatar will fall from the sky. That's my avatar. If it lands in the garden, you'll get your name on the screen. I didn't land in the garden, but that's okay. You can play that throughout the stream. Oh, we got quite a few drops. Look at that. TD Racing and who I can't read the name. Sayadaz and Dan. There's a little bitty Dan seedling and Chunky Tofu. Rice Axe, great drops, everyone. Next time. Well, and thank you, Sebastian, who says they're happy with me. Nice. Cool. Yeah, I have to work today, basically. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get right into the coding. We're gonna build something, and then we're gonna do some co-working. So we'll put some music on in the background. I'll do my job that pays the bills, and you can stare at me while I do that, and also I guess hang out while I do that. But we're gonna do a quick poll. Let's do a poll of what we're going to build. My idea, it's not very original, but the thing is, I've done a lot of coding stuff on stream, and certain things are fairly, I guess, popular. People like to watch them. So here are your options. We build something with a map. So Google Maps or Mapbox or Leaflet, we're gonna put a map on the page and we're gonna put something on that map. That's your first option. Bob, what's up, Bob? I feel like it's been a while. Thanks for being here. All right, so we got maps. We also got web scraping. We don't know what we're gonna scrape. If we choose that, we'll get some ideas on what to scrape. But essentially, web scraping is the process of writing code that will extract data from web pages. So we'll do that. Either do that. Well, I don't know. I think that's all the ideas I had. Well, otherwise, we'll do something with Twitch chat. So we can read messages in the chat and do something with it. I mean, it might actually be interesting to just do build a poll that listens for 1s and 2s and 3s in Twitch chat, and that overlays on the screen. Something like that. These are your options. The main thing is we have to be able to build it in under an hour, so that's why I'm leaving it with these options. Vote now. Wait, technically you only have 1 minute to vote. So vote now. If you're on mobile, you should be able to click on the top and then vote. If you can't click on it, you can do /vote followed by either 1, 2, or 3, and that will get the vote in as well. Forward, thank you for that sub. Very much appreciated. Where if you don't see it, /vote is going to be your best bet. /vote 1, 2, or 3. Yeah, and so web scraping, this will be interesting because there are a lot of places where you actually don't need to scrape, where there's just some undocumented API. Instagram being one of them. Somebody mentioned we could scrape Instagram. I wouldn't really consider it scraping, though, because we would just figure out the undocumented API endpoint. But I don't know. Klein says, what do cows do on a Saturday night? They go to the movies. Great work. All right, so we're going to do web scraping. Now, I just need some ideas in the chat of what we can scrape. One idea I had was the National Weather Service. So we could write some code that scrapes the weather data from this specific web page. Now, this is another example of, well, technically they provide an API, so we don't really need to scrape. But we could actually write code that goes to this page, or like goes to a page based on some latitude and longitude, and extracts out what's the current temperature, humidity, and then also potentially the forecast. This is one option. We could do IMDb. We actually did that a while back. But yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. Those of you that are new to scraping will learn something for sure. We could search for movies like Office Space, and then extract out these results. So we'll probably create an API that can extract this out, and then for any given movie, like given the IMDb ID, we could go and scrape out all of the information, like the title of the movie, the genre, the runtime, all that good stuff. So yeah, those are two good options. We could do something like prices on Amazon. I just don't know, mainly because they do have a lot of bot detection. But we potentially could. So if we want to find the prices for a Shure SM7B, we could scrape this. And I guess one of the things is you also could look at all of the offers on Amazon. So if you want to get a good deal, we could scrape this, which would give us the list of all the prices. Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, bot detection is absolutely a fun challenge. And Tim, thank you for that sub. Yeah, 4 months. Nice. But we only have an hour. We don't have enough. We can't, I mean, we probably could figure out some bot mitigation stuff, but regardless, here are a few options: weather, movies, prices. Let's see. Goodreads for book reviews? Let's see. So, I mean, we've kind of talked about this before, because every time we talk about web scraping, the idea of undocumented API endpoints comes to mind, because you technically don't need to scrape something if you can figure out if a page is calling an API already. I actually just ordered a book. It's by Bill Bryson, called The Body, An Occupant's Guide. It'll be, I ordered it from Barnes & Noble. It'll be here soon. Oh, A Guide for Occupants. But if you haven't heard of Bill Bryson, he's written a ton of awesome books on all kinds of stuff. How I found him was A Short History of Nearly Everything. It's just basically a book about everything. It's pretty awesome. There's also At Home. So this talks about the design of all the things in your home, like a teapot and stuff like that. He's awesome. But the suggestion was we could scrape the reviews for a book. So let's see. Yeah, there are a bunch of reviews here. It says there's 5,000 of them. We're only showing the first 30. And then, how do we get to the next page? Yeah, so we could go to, yeah, I mean, this could be interesting, because we could demonstrate how to do scraping of paginated data. So if you go to the next page, we're going to get 30 more results. But here's the thing. Notice how the URL did not refresh, and only this content right here refreshed. That tells me that they're probably using some sort of API call, meaning we may not have to scrape at all, but okay. See some web scraping with an embedded browser? Yeah, possibly. I just don't think those things are really that necessary. Mainly because if you find yourself needing to use something like Puppeteer or Playwright, you very likely can find an undocumented API endpoint and just use that instead. But maybe. Excavator. Thank you for that 6-month resub. How am I doing? Pretty good. All right, did I miss anything? Scrape some data displayed on a map. I guess that's possible. What would we display on a map, though? Scrape a news feed? Maybe? Maybe? NPO and NGO? I'm not familiar with these terms. Scrape an anime website? What's up, Mr. Field? I don't know. I think these are your options. We can't take too long. We cannot take too long. So these are your options. We will write code that scrapes weather data for a given latitude, longitude. We'll write code that scrapes movie information. We'll write code that potentially scrapes prices from a given product ID on Amazon. Or we'll write code that gets the reviews for a book from Goodreads. These are your options. Oh yeah, we could do Pokemon. A non-governmental organization. Okay, so So news related to non-governmental organizations? It's very possible that IMDb has an undocumented API now too, but maybe this will just turn into how to find undocumented APIs. Actually, I kind of like this. We could combine the map with scraping for weather. Yeah, that sounds cool. All right, I'll just drop that seed of an idea there, but I'll still let you vote. Culver's? What's the... is that like ice cream? Culver's... I went here recently. The ice cream... I mean, I guess it's technically not ice cream. It's a concrete. I don't know the difference, but it's really... This is like the smoothest frozen dairy product you might ever consume. So, okay, Culver's has a flavor of the day. Let's look at the flavor of the day. Select our location. Let's find something in Denver. Thonveer, thank you for that tier 2 3-month resub. Reason got an 80% raise at your company? What? Your streams help me a lot for that. Keep doing what you do. You're helping a lot of people. Oh, that's awesome to hear. Thank you, Thonveer. I'm sure you had a lot to do with it too, but Firebull Monkey, thank you for the 300 bits. Glorified, it's not though. Gelato, wait, is gelato even milk-based? I don't know, but regardless, let's find the flavor of the day in Parker, Colorado. Chocolate Heath Crunch. Nice. I'll add it to the list. Okay. And Aurora with that Prime sub, 6-month resub. Very good. Oh wait, no. You, Mr. You. Thank you. You have the 6-month resub. Aurora was a brand new sub. Thank you, Aurora. Mr. You. Okay. Here we go. We're doing a poll. Gelato is milk-based? Okay. You're right. Gelato is smooth. Okay, which one to scrape? Weather data, movie data, Amazon price data, book reviews from Goodreads, or flavor of the day. I'm totally not opposed to that. All right, you have 2 minutes to vote. Which one are we going to scrape? Come on, there we go. Vote now. Oh, I see. Yeah, I think we have some good options here. The only thing about Reddit is they have a freely available API, so you don't really need to scrape it. You can just directly call their API. Yeah, the only thing about Culver's is they do not deliver to where I live, which is unfortunate. But I'll make the trip. I guess is Butterburger their thing? Yeah, Butterburger. There's just so much butter, and it's like kind of like a smash burger. It's good. It's good stuff. Cool. Yeah, and if you're on mobile, you should see a thing up here that you can click on and vote. But if you don't see that, you can vote in the chat. If you do /vote followed by 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, that will vote for that specific one. This is Firefox. I'm actually using Firefox. If you check out the frequently asked questions, I talk about all my extensions. Though Streamlabs CloudBot has been pretty slow to respond, but there we go. There's the response. Check that out. Cool. Yeah, so YY is asking about yerba mate. So And Elon Musk, thank you for the bits. Good to see you too. Elon's always with the bits, always with the bits. I appreciate you. Yeah, but I drink the commercialized, canned version of yerba mate. And this is good. But yeah, I do have some leaves. I brew them every now and then, but honestly not that often. I don't know. Good morning, the She Boss. Welcome to the show. All right, it looks like overwhelmingly Amazon price has won. So I guess we'll scrape that. I'm just always reluctant, mainly because Amazon has like really good bot detection, but we'll do our best. Here's what we're going to set out to do. We are going to write code that extract, let's just do it for the Shure microphone, and then we'll expand from there if we get it working. And Rogue Soul with the 1-year resub, thank you, who says just came to renew. Have a nice stream. Well, thank you, Rogue Soul. Thank you for dropping by. A whole year. That's huge. And it's Twitch Prime. That means they clicked that button 12 times. That's dedication. Thank you, Rogue Soul. Cool. Yeah, I don't think I have any Brahms around me. I visited, yeah, so that's when I remember having Brahms, is when I was in Oklahoma. I don't know if I've seen any around here. Can I talk about Svelte? If we build a front end for this, we'll probably use Svelte. I've seen enough people mention it, and we haven't used it in a long time. I am still on Mac Mojave on this laptop. My work laptop has Big Sur. It works okay. I upgraded because I needed to install the latest Xcode. Yeah, we are not sponsored by Gayaki. And actually, Gayaki doesn't do sponsorships as far as I know of. All of the money goes like back into the community. It's fair trade. It's non-GMO. They're a good company. I don't know. Okay. Nice. Yeah, Fireship has a ton of stuff in 100 seconds videos. Okay. But we voted. The chat has decided. We are going to do web scraping, and specifically, we are going to scrape the prices from Amazon. Now, what does it mean to web scrape? Yeah, and what web scraping library am I going to use? First of all, I guess we need to do a little bit of reconnaissance, right? Oh, and there was a hype train? I didn't even know. Thank you all. I appreciate you. So, and the She Boss, thank you for that resub. Yeah, I feel like the She Boss is close to, 11 months. I was like, you're close to a year, aren't you? Thank you, the She Boss, for all your support and gifted subs and all you do for the channel. Yeah, and thanks for being here, Yanmi. I don't know, the She Boss. I don't know. I think maybe you missed the 11-month resub, and then like next week or the week after that is actually your 12-month resub. Because I'm pretty sure you've been here since the beginning. So I don't know. Okay, but here you are, your average consumer. You go to Amazon, you see a thing, it costs a certain amount of money. You say, I don't want to pay that amount of money. I want to wait until the price is lower. There are plenty of services out there actually that will send you alerts when the price is lower. But how do they do that? Very likely they're using some sort of web scraping, though Amazon does provide a commerce API that you can get an API key for. But we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it without asking for Amazon's permission. We are basically going to write code that visits this website the same way a human would. We're going to write code that extracts the data out of the page. I think specifically what we want to do is we want to extract the data from this list. So we want to extract the data of who the seller is, because you'll notice Amazon actually has, it's a marketplace. And hey, Ed. No, the She Boss, thank you for that gifted sub to Ed. Much appreciated. Yeah, you can see it's a marketplace. There's a lot of different sellers, but basically we could write code that extracts this data out and says, well, hey, you can get a used like new Shure SMB for $379 if you order it from Deals Hut. Yeah. Yeah. You made some Doge today? That's cool. You made or bought? Okay, so how are we going to do this? First of all, I will introduce you to the network tab in whatever browser you're using. I'm using Firefox. There's a very similar thing in Chrome. So if you right-click this page, click Inspect, that's going to pop open the DevTools. Specifically, there's this tab called Network, and this will show you all of the network requests that happen when this specific page is loaded. There's also a keyboard shortcut. Command on Mac, it's Command Option I, or Command Option J will load the console, but regardless, you want to get here. And this is going to show you all of the requests. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to filter by XHR. So this is XML HTTP requests. This will show you requests that were made by JavaScript on the web page. And I'm also going to disable the cache. So that way, if any data was cached, next time I load this page, we're going to see that data fresh. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to refresh. We do see some requests here, but I'm fairly certain that whenever you click, wait, no, I don't want that. Let's clear, so you can click this button to clear the logs that have happened, but I'm fairly certain whenever we click on this, because it pops out that sidebar, and it takes a few seconds for the data to load, that is the request that we want, because that request has this list of prices and such. And so if we look at this, we probably could just open it in a new tab. Look at that. It's really ugly. It actually is HTML and such, but it's meant to be loaded dynamically on an actual Amazon web page. But we could write code that just makes the request directly to this page. And because it's HTML, there's a bunch of HTML in here. We can write code that extracts it out. Yeah, and so this page is dependent on the CSS already loaded over here. But regardless, this is the URL we want. Let's get our code set up, and then we can kind of dissect it. So let's make a directory for Amazon price scraper. Yeah, and I'm gonna use Cheerio. I realize a lot of people. Actually, I'm not gonna start up code yet. A lot of people talk about Puppeteer. Or Selenium or any of these automated browsers. I don't like using those because they're heavy, right? Because it requires spinning up an entire browser, visiting the page, waiting for the JavaScript to load. But what I've just done is I've determined that I only need to make a request to this page. And I can do that without a headless browser. I can just write code that makes an HTTP request here, gets back the data. So that's the plan. That's the plan. Yeah, so we're going to use, if you're new here, you may not have known, we're going to use JavaScript. I like Node.js. I'm pretty good with it. So we're going to use Node and NPM. And the dependencies we need specifically, actually, I'm going to mix it up. Or should I mix it up? I feel like the last time we tried to mix it up, I couldn't figure it out. But I'll say Cheerio is a library I've been using for a very long time. Cheerio is basically jQuery on the server side. So you can write code that selects elements, but it's not running inside of a browser. So that's what Cheerio is. And then we need a library for making HTTP requests. We'll just add that first. We're going to add axios. Now, in T-5 seconds, there are going to be at least 2 people in the chat that are going to be like, why are you using axios? And my answer is because it works. It works well, and that's why we're going to use it. There are other options. There are other options for making HTTP requests, but that's all we need. That's all we need. So, but yeah, so I mean, the main reason I'm using Axios is because it has so much built into it. It's a tried and tested library. At the end of the day, all we need to do is make an HTTP request. But we're going to use Axios. Okay, so we're gonna put all of this into a function called get prices, and maybe we pass in like the product ID, and then we need to make that HTTP request. Why wouldn't I use Axios? You could use node fetch. There's got. There's a few others that you could use. That's too much chaos. I mean, it would be fun one day, but not right now. Okay, so this is the URL we want to make the request to. Let's put it into a variable. We'll say like get product URL. This will take in the product ID and then return a template string with the product ID inside of it. But let's inspect this URL. So I know, just because I've looked on Amazon a lot, that the ref you don't actually need. The ref is actually used to track you. So this ref is used to track, like if you share a link. I believe the ASIN is very likely the product ID. which shows up in the URL right here. So the B00, yeah, so check it out. If we go to like some other product, like the Amazon Basics Dynamic Vocal Microphone, and we look in the URL, that's its ASIN. But if we replace that in this URL, we are very likely going to get back information about this one. Yeah, look at that. So that's great. So the ASIN is actually the product ID. So I'm going to put that right here. We have QID. I don't think we need this. I think this is like another tracking thing. I think this is probably all we need. So here's what we do. We grab the URL by saying get product URL with that product ID. Then now that we have that URL with the product ID inside of it, we can make the HTTP request. So I want to make this an async function. We're going to make the request with axios. So we'll say axios.get with that product URL. And then we'll see what happens. So right now, I'm just going to log out this data that I get back. So this should be requesting the actual HTML of the page. And if we get it, we got it, and we'll be able to log it out. So let's see. So let's say get prices. We're gonna pass in that ASIN number. Let's figure out what the Shure SM7B was. No, is this it? Yeah, this is it. I actually don't have the Shure SM7B. I have its little baby brother. This one I have the MV7. Let's get the prices for this one. Cool. So if I pass that in, we should see some HTML logged to the console. Let's see. It also might break. It also might. We might get a response from Amazon that says, "Hey, you seem like a bot." And let's see if we do. I mean, we did get back some HTML. That's pretty good. Let's see if we see like the price $249. Yeah, it worked. I'll say this right now, by just making this request bare like this, we're not setting any sort of headers, and Axios, I believe, sets its own headers that says Axios is the thing making this request. What we probably should do is send our own headers, so that way it looks like this request is coming from a web browser. Specifically, the what's it called? The user agent. Yeah, spoof the headers. So if we look at what happens when we make a request to this page here. So this is a GET request to that URL. You can see that certain headers are being sent along. You can actually see that we have a session, like a cookie. Don't worry, I'm not actually logged in, and I've never logged in this browser, so don't worry. This does nothing. I mean, you could try to do something with it, but regardless, let's send this accept header. So I'm definitely going to send that here. So we'll say the accept has this on it. So that's great. So we're saying we're accepting this type of data from this endpoint. I mean, really, we want HTML, and usually I believe it just does accept like */*, which means I'll accept anything. But if you put that in there, it's more similar to what the browser does, so that's good. Let's see what else. We can specify the host. This header you cannot fake on the client side, but because this is technically like server-side code, I can change the host header. So this basically says that the request is coming from Amazon.com, even though it's not. And this is mainly used by web browsers to prevent certain attacks and to make sure that the request actually is coming from that web page. Let's see what else. Oh, yeah, and then here's the user agent. So the user agent hacks. The user agent specifies what is the operating system and web browser that this request is coming from. So you can see this is just the user agent header for the current version of Firefox that I'm using. We've got Mozilla. It says it's Firefox 88. And it also says that I'm on a Mac. So now, when this request is made with Axios to the receiving server, it is going to think that this request is coming from a Firefox web browser. So, yeah. Yeah. Isn't the host header set by the URL? It might be. I've done a lot of stuff like this before, and I know that sometimes if you leave this off, that's how they detect it as a bot request. So I'm going to leave it, but you might be right that Axios under the hood actually sets the host header based on the domain of the URL you're making the request to. Yeah. Slothman is asking, why is user agent in quotes and host and accept or not? So we're in JavaScript, and in JavaScript, the properties of an object can only have letters and numbers in them. They can't have spaces. They can't have like special characters. So accept and host don't have any special characters, but user agent has a dash in it. And because of that, we can wrap it in single quotes, and now it works. But because of the dash, you see that I get like the syntax error. It's like, yeah, you can't do that. But that's why there's a dash there. And that's why this one's in quotes and those aren't. Technically, these can be in quotes, and it would work just fine. But you can see that my linter is yelling at me, and it's saying, hey, you don't need to do that. It's unnecessary. Okay. I feel like we missed some things, but there are a few more headers we'll set, and then we'll see if it still works. I'm going to set this pragma, and I'm going to set all three of these. Knowledge. Hey, what's up, Ashley? Welcome to the show. Okay, pragma. Actually, this would be good because we don't want to receive stale results. And so if we say don't cache it, then we should get the latest price results from here. Trailers? Wait, what? How does this? Okay, what is it? TE trailers, pragma no cache, upgrade insecure requests. Yes, please. Cool. No, I haven't yelled back at my linter because I appreciate how strict my linter is, because it reminds me to code to good. Yeah, I actually have no idea what this header is. We could look it up. TE HTTP header. Somebody in the chat might know. Transfer encodings. Well, look at that. Trailers. So we want some trailers. Okay, so all I've done is I've just set the header so that way when we make this request, it looks like it's coming from a web browser. Knowledge. So let's see if it still works. We'll try making the request again. And we'll search for 249. We got 4 results. If we look at the last one, is that... Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and assume it's still working. So, great. We can request this web page. Now, we want to actually write the code that extracts out the prices and the information. So I'm going to request this one because, yeah, this has a lot more prices that we can pull. And then we also have, like, the selected price by Amazon. This is, like, lowest price, including potentially free shipping. But then below that, you have all of your options. But we need to figure out what are like the class names of these elements, so that way we can extract them out. Now, at this point is where we introduce a library that can do that kind of extraction. Cheerio is the one I've used, and it works really well. It really does. However, there's this thing, JSDOM, which emulates the web browser's DOM in a headless environment like in Node. And so what you can do is you can pass HTML into JSDOM, and then you can use the things you're used to, like query selector. Now, does anybody remember, didn't I try to use this and we ran into issues? Didn't that happen, or am I misremembering? Let's just vote on it. Should we use JSDOM, which looks very similar to the browser? You have like .query selector, .text content. Or we can use Cheerio, which works like Axios. Yeah, Wiz says they used it, but we'll vote on it. I have a feeling you're going to pick JSDOM. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. So Cheerio, which is basically like jQuery, or JSDOM, which is kind of like vanilla JS. But at the end of the day, they're neither of those things because they're specifically written to run in a server or like a headless environment. Yeah, the jQuery syntax is a lot easier. So, yeah. We don't want to break your trust. We also could use regular expressions, but we're not going to, mainly because this makes our life really easy. And I'll show you why really quick while you're voting. Is like if we look at this element, we can see, look at this. So this is a span and it has a class of a-price. So I can just do a selector for an element with the class a-price and then get the text content, and I'm going to get 249. Whereas if you were using a regular expression, it would get really messy and clunky. So yeah, brute force string searching. Are we going to see another first try today? I don't know. Maybe. It's gradual. I write a little bit of code at a time. So all right, here we go with JSDOM. I will say I am less familiar with this, and it's possible it's going to take some work. So here's what we do. We'll install it as a dependency like that. And then now that we have it, we can bring it in, and we'll do it like this. So it gets brought in just like axios, and actually we can destructure this directly. We can just say grab JSDOM from that. Great, and then we need to create an instance of it like this. So we got back. So this data variable right here has all of the HTML inside of it. So this is where we would do this thing. So we create a new JSDOM with that data. And actually, let's just call it HTML because that's what it is. So load that HTML that we just got from Amazon into this JSDOM. And then we'll do a query selector. So let's try grabbing the first price on the page, just like we saw. So we need an element with the class a-price. And then we want the element below that with a-offscreen. Okay, so dom.window.document.query-selector. We want the element with the class a-price. And then inside of that, there is an element with the class a-offscreen. Like that. And then in query selector, we'll just grab the first one on the page. So let's see if this will actually work. Let's see. And then, so yeah, if this works, we're technically going to be grabbing that element and getting the text content, which will be 249. Shout out to the Amazon devs for using BEM. Yeah, block element modifier, for sure. Okay. Yeah, let's see if it works. If we see 249 in the console, we're doing it right. Here we go. And Urbans, thank you for that Prime sub. We've done it. We've done it. We've extracted the first try. Yeah, we've extracted the first price on the page. Okay. So this gives me confidence that we can use this library, and we'll figure it out. So let's see. We're in. This first element here, yeah, pinned ID. I believe this is going to be the one with like the recommended price, right? And then everything else is like the list of prices. Like this down here is a separate list. Let's see. Let's kind of like look at what these class names. Yeah. So AOD sticky pinned offer. So this will give us the pinned offer. Let's see. Pinned ID. Offer heading is going to be the condition. And then, yeah, so here's what I'm going to do. I am going to select the parent element. Actually, and what am I looking at below that? Is all of this part of the same element? What is this? Yeah, I think I just care about this element here. So let's figure out I think we're going to go with this ID. Pinned DID. And so here's what we'll do. We'll say the pinned element is going to be this, but we want that. So dom.window.document.query-selector. We could write like a little helper method that makes this a little bit easier. Something like get element. And this takes in the selector.
And then we just do this. That'll make our lives a little bit easier. Like that. So here we go. So get the element with the ID, pinned ID. Great. And then we want to extract out the price, the seller name, and maybe like the delivery date or something like that. Oh yeah, we could call this $. You're totally right. We could call this $. It would still work. Nice. We've just created jQuery. Okay. Yeah. All right. So now within this element, we should be able to query selector. I gotta look at a work notification. Cool. Okay. So we should be able to now, if we're selecting within that pinned element, we can be sure that we're getting the pinned price, but it's going to be very similar. So I can say the pinned price is going to be well, actually, I mean, now I don't want to do that. Now I want to use the pinned element and query selector inside of it. So query selector it for a-price a-off screen dot text content, like this. Is that right? Yeah. So that should do it. And then I'm going to create an object called pinned item that has the price of the pinned price. And do we get the title of this thing? Like, yeah, this is, what's this element? Let's put this as like a general element. AOD asyn title text. Cool. So the entire title of the page, the product title, let's just call it title. Or name, we'll call it title, is get the element with this ID and then grab its text content. Cool. So, actually, let's call this pinned. You'll see where I'm going with this, because at the end of it all, we're going to have some like result object that has like a title. It'll have the pinned element with its information inside of it, and then eventually it'll have let's call them like offers, which will be an array of all the other offers. And we're going to build this up by like extracting the data out one at a time. So let's see if this works. We should get the title. We should get a pinned object with the price $2.49. And right now, no offers because we're not selecting them. Yeah, this is a great point about web scraping. What if they change the HTML structure later on? This will break. This will absolutely break. Which is why you would need to keep this updated or try to write it in a general enough way that it should work if the page changes. And Zinc Commando, thank you for that resub. Much appreciated. So it's working. You can see that we're grabbing the title. Right now there's a bunch of space on the edges. You can see that it has new lines. We can just fix that by trimming it. Yeah, we could replace new lines, but JavaScript has this trim function built in, which just removes the new lines from both sides, like that. So that's good. Yeah, so we have the pinned. Let's see if there is a link to this specific pinned offer, right? Like if we look here, we see the pinned offer. What happens if we click on details? No. What about add to cart? Does this give us a URL of any kind? Add to cart from seller. Add to cart. Oh, here we go. We have the offer ID. This is a hidden form input, but I think the offer ID is specifically what we would need if we were like programmatically adding this to a cart later. So let's grab that. Let's just search the page for, well, not there, but like here. Can we click the button using JSDOM? You wouldn't do that because this, I mean, maybe it actually is running the page with JSDOM, but we're not loading the page and running all of the JavaScript on it. So the way that we're doing this right now, technically you wouldn't click that button. You would use something like Puppeteer to click the button. But let's see. No, I want to search within here. Offer ID. Offer? I don't know. Let's look at this button. Oh, here it is. Here it is. So, is this button within the pinned ID, which we selected earlier? It is. And then if we look at this, we could grab the form and grab the offer ID. I mean, we're not going to write any code that like adds this stuff to the cart today, but I would think that we need this offer ID. So I'm just going to put it in the object. So we need an input whose name is offer ID 1. So let's grab that here. We'll say like the pinned offer ID is the pinned element. We're going to grab an input, and then we want the name to be offer ID 1. That should get it. And then we want to grab its value attribute. Get attribute value. Let's see if this works. This could totally break. If this element isn't found right here, that will break. I'm actually curious if we look at just the direct HTML of the page, does that exist? It does. Yeah, it does exist in the page itself, so that's good. Cool. So right here, we'll just have the offer ID, which is going to be that. Let's see if this works. Nice. We've got it. And then we also want the seller name, and then we'll just move on to the list of all the prices and such. So we want this shipped from and sold by. So shipped from is that one. AOD offer ships from. Well, that's easy. So we grab that, and then we grab, we want the value. Ships from column right, Amazon.com. Cool. So we'll say the pinned shipped from is going to be the pinned element. We want to grab the AOD offer ships from, and then we want to grab the A column right A size small. So A dash column dash right, and then it has a child A dash small. Yeah, this should work. So this is ships from that. Cool, and then we should grab the sold by. Let's find that here. Yeah, so AOD offers sold by. It's gonna be very similar, I think. Let's just try it without even checking. So we grab this ID, and then we get the one on the right small. That should be who it's sold by. So ships from and sold by is pinned sold by. All right, this could break. We didn't check, but I think it's gonna work. Nice, look at that. So we've got the title, we've got the pinned item, its price, its offer ID, who it ships from, and who it's sold by. Beautiful. Beautiful. Now we can do the same thing for all of the offers down below. And if they're structured in the same way, we're basically done. we're basically done. But what we want now is the list of all the offers down here. So, trim sold by. Let's see what we got back. Yeah, you're totally right. See that little extra space right there? We want to, well, we can trim both of these. Great. Yeah, now let's see if, yeah, here it is, the AOD offer list. So the offer list has the rest of the offers that we can add here. So let's put that in an element, and then we can query it for each of its offers. So we can say the offer list element is, we want to $sign it. Grab the offer list like that. Cool. And then, yeah, they are doing something that is non-standard HTML. They actually have multiple elements with the same ID. You're not supposed to do that. But that's okay, because I think we can just select the div. Let's see if there are any other class. AOD information block. I think that's what we want. Noobs. Yeah, so every element within the offer list that has the class AOD information block is an offer. So we'll use query selector, and we just want this class. It is an accessibility issue for sure if multiple elements have the same ID, but it's fine. We'll forgive them. Wait, what just happened? Cool. Okay. So we have the element itself. We can say the offer elements is get that element and then query selector all. So I want to grab every child that has the class AOD information block. And so this is going to be a node collection list that represents each of the information blocks that has the price information about that specific offer. All right, drop the mic. All right, so now we need to iterate over this so that way we can grab each individual offer. What I'm curious about, does JSDOM implement for each? Or do they implement map? Let's see if they implement for each. So for each offer element, let's see if we can grab the price from it. So if we look at, so this is one of the elements. This has the class, or does it? Yeah, this is one of the elements. This has the class AOD information block. And then inside of that, it has AOD offer price. And it's actually a very similar selector. Look at this, A-price and then A off screen. But let's see if we can get the price for each of the elements and just log them out. I mean, if we think it's going to work, we could just do this. We could say the offers is an array. And then for each of those offers, we'll push an object in. So say offers.push will somehow get the price. But the price selector, right now I'm going to copy and paste it, but I think I can extract this out into a method that we can reuse for every element in the list. But let's see if it works first. So we'll say the price is the offer element, and then grab that thing. Of course it will work. I mean, for those of you that are new to coding, it doesn't always work this way. I'm just kind of good at what I do. I'm just kind of good. Wait, why are they all... They shouldn't all be... Maybe they are. Actually, they might all be 24... Okay. They're literally all $249. Everyone has the exact same price. We need to find another product where not everyone is the same price, just so we can really be sure that it's working. Like this one. Hey, what's up, Anacodes? Yeah, we got another first try. So let's grab this product ID. We should get a bunch of varying prices on this one. So the same price for the same product. Yeah, but I don't know. Prices vary. Here we go. The Shure SM7B. Let's see what we get. Hey, it's actually working, which is insane to me. Like, it's worked every time. Okay, but great. We have prices. Now we need to grab all the other info about each of those items. What's up, Milky Dev? Thank you for the beard compliment. This is, I'm kind of I'm perplexed as to why this is just working so easily. I'm gonna do a little bit of verification. So let me see this, like if the ships from and sold by also has the same ID. And if it does, then I mean the code we've already written will just work. Wait, why are there multiple ships from and sold by Amazon? That was for the Shure S7 II. But yeah, like this is shipped and sold by the Imaging World. Yeah, look, it has the exact same selector. And again, they're using the same ID multiple times on the page, which is not compliant, but it makes our lives a whole lot easier. So basically we can take all of this. The price, the offer ID, the shipped from, the sold by, all of these select, and the fact that we're creating this little object here. All of this goes into a general function called get offer. So we'll have a function called like get offer. You pass in the element you want to extract the things from, and then it in turn will return an object with all of these. And so instead of pinned element, these all become element. And then instead of pinned price, this just becomes price. And then this becomes offer ID, ships from, sold by, and then that becomes simpler. So now we get rid of all this code and we just say the pinned is get offer for the pinned element. And then, then it's even easier than that because we push get offer with the offer element here. And if it works, we should have all that info about every single item. Here we go. Refactoring. First try. Huh. Would you look at that? Okay, so now. So we have the title. It is insane. This is coding does not normally work this way. Okay, so we have the title. We have the pinned price of $3.99, sold from and shipped by Amazon. Yeah, so I need to search and see if there's shipping costs, because things that are sold or that ship from Amazon usually ship for free. Yeah, but like this one ships from Amazon, but technically has a seller called Gabriel's. Yeah, DJ Band Supply. Okay, so let's see if we can grab shipping price if it is there. I see. Free delivery, fastest delivery. I mean, technically, like everything for this product has free delivery. Yeah, promoting unrealistic for sure. Yeah, this is not the way the real world works. We need to find some really weird products that aren't really offered by Amazon, so that way we can get some that actually have shipping costs. I haven't been looking at the rewards redemptions. So, not really. We'll do a quick stretch. 4 days ago, see, that's the thing. There are some from days ago that I didn't do, so I'm just going to reject all of them. You get any points you spent on requests, you get back. How about that? Okay. Yeah. This one doesn't have any other offers. I'm actually curious if this will work because I don't see, like, it doesn't have other offers. So will our code work and just get the pinned one? I think this is where the code breaks. This is where there is no offer list and the code breaks. Let's see. No, it just works. There's one pinned offer and no other offers. Well, that's fun. Okay. What about Yerba mate. That has to have a shipping cost, right? Let's find us some classic gold yerba mate. This is the one that I like to drink. Classic gold. And we have 3 offers. They're all free delivery. Yeah, this is a type of tea. This is what I'm drinking here. I am making it look way too easy. I mean, I guess that's why people tune in, right? It's like it's kind of like watching. I mean, I don't want to compare myself to like Bob Ross, but I was watching him the other day, and he's amazing, right? Like he literally does it with 0 effort. And then if you were to try and do that at home, you would realize that it takes a lot more effort than that. But I mean, I've been doing this for years. I don't know. I am not Bob Ross. That's what you should take out of this. We can't find anything with shipping. Why is it so hard to pay for shipping? Yeah, something big. Yeah, like a mattress. We need to find something where they're actually going to charge for shipping. We want ourselves a king-size mattress. You linked one with shipping, Tim? Yamaha watercraft cylinder. First of all, I want to thank and applaud Tim for providing an Amazon link without all of the tracking information. So you'll see that as I click around on Amazon, like let's look at this Ashley Chime 12-inch medium mattress. If you look at the URL, there's just a bunch of junk on the end here. And typically this is used to track you. So like the QID is like the query ID. And if you share this URL with someone else, then they know that that person is logged in. They can keep track of who's sharing links with who. And I mean, potentially they use that to suggest products to sell you because maybe you'll like the things that person that shared it with you like, whatever. Tim has removed all of that. So that way this is just a bare link. And I'm not being linked to Tim. So thank you, Tim, for doing that. Okay. Well, there are no other offers. And actually, I mean, thank you, Tim, for doing that. But also, I would recommend anybody, if you're sharing links from Amazon with anyone else, like you're sharing it on Discord, you're sharing it in a text, take everything in the URL everything after the question mark isn't required specifically for a product URL. You really don't even need the ref, and the page will still work. Look at that. Okay, I'm curious, what is the element name that has shipping information? So, right here, delivery message. Amazon people hate these tricks, and they hate Tim. I mean, I do it at the. Oh yeah, you could. Yeah, there's Chrome extensions or Firefox extensions that will do that for you as well, for sure. Here's the thing. Wait, yeah, this is the pinned element. I think this is the one I want. The tricky part here is that it's not separating out the delivery price from like the delivery date. We could do, this is where we could actually introduce some regular expressions and like extract out like what's the shipping cost, what's the estimated arrival date. That's true, Doc. Okay, let me just search this whole page for $13.14 and see what other elements we can find. Yeah, there's only 2 elements, and it's very similar. So, let's just get the. We'll make it easy on ourselves. We'll just grab the delivery message if there is one. And in Blanky, thank you for that resub. 4 months. 4 months. It's a long time. Thank you very much. Okay, so right here when we're getting the offer, we'll get the delivery message. And this is element.query selector ID delivery message. And then we just grab the text content. And we'll trim it. And that way, well, this could break if there is no delivery message. But let's see. Yeah. Free delivery. Wait, what am I? Oh, because I'm looking at that microphone. I mean, I don't like that there's all these extra new lines and stuff. And thank you, Chuck Morris. Thanks for dropping in. Let's make the request for this oil thing and see what it looks like. Ideally, it's just that like message that says $13.14. Yeah, I mean that's not bad when there actually is one. Yeah. Actually, I'm curious about this one though. And Zabuza, thank you for that Prime resub. Much appreciated. Cool. I think the other thing is we will include the product ID in the final result here. And Blackberry, sorry. Thanks for that resub. Nice to see you here. Take care. Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm just curious about this word details. So let's go back to the Shure microphone and see what that, well, actually, let's get this mattress. So there are 3 offers, all of them with free delivery. But regardless, let's see what kind of text comes back when we extract that same thing from those. So, free delivery. I mean, it's not horrible. I guess this only happens on the pinned offer. So the pinned offer has a bunch of extra stuff. But I think what we'll do is we'll replace new lines, any number of new lines with a space, and then remove the word details on the end. I think that's all we're going to do here. So delivery message is delivery message, replace, we'll do a regular expression for new lines. So 0 or more new lines get replaced with a space. Actually, any number of white space. 0 or more white spaces. I guess I could use replace all, but I want it to detect white space like new lines and spaces. So 0 or more, any white space gets replaced with a space. Great. And so that will get rid of all this extra gunk. And then we'll replace the word details with nothing, and then trim the whole thing. I know this is ugly, but it'll probably work. Let's try it. Wait, did it work? I don't know if it kind of worked. Though we still have two new lines right there. Oh yeah. Global replacement, right? That's what I'm missing. 1. Oh, look at that. we just turned it into like vaporwave free delivery. It's actually it's a happy little accident aesthetic. Yeah. I guess we want 1 or more, right? Yeah, we want 1 or more, not 0 or more. Mr. Ben Coder, thank you for the 5 months. Keep up the good work. Thank you. Yeah, that does it. Look at us. We're doing it. I think that's all we need. Petition to leave it like that. Yeah, I think this is all we need. This was, so here's the thing. If you're a coder and you had heard about web scraping but you didn't know how to do it, this gives you a good general introduction to it. Now, there's a lot of different places you could go with this, right? Like we could deploy our own API that does this behind the scenes. So we could have a JSON API where you pass in an Amazon product ID and we return this. And you can offer that, like, I guess, as a service. The other thing you could do is you could put this into some sort of scheduled task, right? You could make this, request this page, get all of the data about offers in the pinned offer, and then send an email or send a text message if one of the offers is within your price range. That's a thing you could do. Does this have good performance? I mean, good enough. Yeah. For that, we'll need probably not WebSockets. This would just be something that would be running as a background task. And then I guess the other thing you could, I mean, there are services out there that have like, there's one called like Camel. This is a website that actually keeps track of Amazon prices. And so you can throw in a product ID, like let's grab this mattress and let's see the price history. And I mean, the way that they're getting, look, they have a graph. They can show you that on November 1st, oh, and I didn't mean to do that. On November 1st, this mattress sold for $462, but wait, oh, that was like 2018. At some point in January, this thing sold for $300. Yeah, but you might be wondering, how are they getting this price history? They have some sort of scheduled task. They have a scheduled task that does this, gets the data, puts it in a database, and they do that like once or twice a day, and now they have a history of what the price was at any given time. And I guess the other thing is they let you differentiate between Amazon and third party. The way you know that a product is shipped, like is actually from Amazon and isn't a marketplace item, is if it is shipped from and sold by Amazon. If it's shipped from and sold by Amazon, then that is actually directly offered by Amazon, whereas these are third-party marketplaces. Yeah, I mean, it absolutely does. Like Player Salvatore is saying, doesn't that require a lot of resources? Definitely. They probably have many back-end servers with like they have a whole infrastructure designed to be able to listen for multiple different prices of different products. They also have an alerts feature. But yeah, the code behind this website is very likely, what's the word? Involved? It is very involved, yes. How do they know all the products to scan? I think when people search for them. And they might, and like the other thing is they might actually literally just do a web crawl of Amazon to find all of the products that they can. So if they use AWS, does that mean they use Amazon to scrape Amazon? Yeah. Klein with the 1,050 bits. Thank you for the support. Much appreciated. I never would have thought it would be so hard to find an item with shipping, right? I feel like maybe, yeah, when the pandemic first hit, I think it was more likely because there were way less places that could fulfill orders, and so they actually were charging shipping instead of doing free shipping. But it's kind of insane. I mean, and it's free shipping. It's kind of like the shipping is embedded in the cost of the item itself. I don't know. We can get some shoes. Let's get some chunky shoes. Yeah, let's get us some Filas. Some nice, solid pink Filas. In size, size 10. Oh, wait, they don't have it in pink. What do they have in pink? 5.5. Yeah, so here's the thing. For this specific item, we actually haven't written code that would handle this. Mainly because there are multiple options, right? You have your sizing, you have your coloring, and that's a whole different ordeal. Because there's likely different things that pop up based on we're not going to handle variants today, but this is an exercise for the viewer. You can do this. You'd have to figure out like what network requests are made. You would probably have to make a request to get the list of options, and then once you have the list of options, you can request the list of prices for the variant. So like for the color and the size. Yeah. And all of these are oh, here we go, $10 delivery. So, this might actually break because this has variants. Let's see how my code handles it. Let's see. My God. Why won't it break? Why won't it break? Okay, but yeah, so we can see this one selling for $76 has $10 delivery. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's selecting a default size. It's bulletproof code, yeah. It's working. I'm guessing that they have like a default size selected, or maybe these. Like, I don't know. Like, what happens if I try to add this to my cart? What size do I get? Oh, I mean, is it saving? It can't be saving it in a cookie. Maybe 6.5 is like the first one that they have in stock. Oh, you're probably right. The variant is probably in the URL. So let's check this out. And then it chooses the default variant, or like maybe the first available variant. That's probably what happens. We're just gonna assume that. Yeah. But I'm gonna stop here for now. I'm gonna push this code to GitHub. Get a Fila shoe and put a microphone inside of it. Yeah, so I think I'm gonna start co-working now because I've been live long enough. I got to get to work. But all of this code will be released under the MIT license. You can hack it and add more stuff to it. Will you refactor like separating those functions out? I think that's the main refactor there. We could do more refactors. Yeah, so we're about to move into co-working, but I'm gonna put this on GitHub, so you can hack on it. And I mean, if you have nothing else to do today, maybe you work on this if this interests you. I'm not asking you to, and I don't know if we will revisit this on stream, but that is a thing. Okay. Git ignore. Game of GeoGuessr. We'll do that during our first break. So I'm gonna try to work in Pomodoros today, and I'm actually gonna do 35-minute Pomodoros, which I think is against the guidelines because the Pomodoros are usually like 25 minutes. But we're gonna do a 35 minutes of work, 5-minute break. Maybe we'll play a game of GeoGuessr, and then 35 minutes of work. And Photon with the gifted sub. Thank you very much, Photon. Can you use this to dominate the world with shoes? Possibly. You can get shoes at the cheapest prices. Please fix all the dependent bots on your repositories. I mean, I feel the same way. I know that it needs to be fixed, but I just haven't gotten to it. But we'll get to it one day. Okay, I'm going to create a Git repo, and then I'm going to start working. What I'm going to do whenever I start co-working is I actually will hide my screen, because I'm going to be working on my work laptop. Oh, yeah, no worries, Ed. Yeah, you have a wonderful evening. Do what you can. Co-working just means working together. There's some other streamers that have done it where basically they're streaming, there's some music on, and you kind of just leave it on in the background, or you can hang out with people in chat. Here. Maybe I'll click that YouTube link. Can one of the mods tell me if that link is safe? It may not be. I will lower the slow mode. Okay. Thanks, Doc. What am I doing? I'm creating a repo. Tips for beard. Just let it grow. Let it grow. Let it grow. I mean, honestly, if you could see me in person, I look like a homeless person. Like, I do not grow very good facial hair. It's not very thick. There's a lot. It's kind of patchy. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it also is just like genes. Like, can you grow facial hair? So yeah, so right there is the GitHub repo for the code that we just wrote. Hopefully it was useful to some of you. Can we just get a smile in the chat if you learned something today? I I am like, honestly, if this is your first time tuning in, the amount of errors we didn't see was insane. Like the fact that my code never broke and we were straight, like we never, like, I don't know. It's kind of baffling, honestly. It's baffling. But now look at all those smiling faces. Thank you for being here, everybody. All right. Yeah, so that got pushed up. There's that. Type. Let me close this. Cool. Yeah, and I am going to get set up for a co-working stream. So, well, thank you, 69 operator. I appreciate you. Let me get some music going. Let's see. We'll do this. This is a good album. Turn it down just a little bit. How is the music level to my voice? I'm not going to be talking that much, but I will be talking every now and then. So, how's the levels? How's it sound? Yeah. All right, cool. It is a bit loud, but I guess, I mean, yeah, I'll post a link to the album in just a second. Like, let's go like right here. Oh, that was the end of that song, anyways. Right there. Let's groove. Cool. All right. Actually, this is fun. We go to this screen, and then I show up right here. Yeah. So, if you give me a second. Yeah, I'll change the message and stuff like that too. All right, yeah, thanks everyone for hanging out. If you gotta go, that's perfectly fine. I appreciate all the support so far. I'm gonna be just working for probably at least the next 2 hours, maybe a little bit longer than that. But feel free to work yourself. Feel free to hang out in the chat. If you are looking for more live coding content, check out the Live Coders team. There might be some people live right now that are writing code. Let's also post a link to the Pogrammers. I don't know if anybody's live over there. You can check them out. All right, I'll turn the music down just a little bit. How's that? And then also the Only Devs. Check them out. Cool. You also can just hang out here with me. See you later, Descartes.